Hello and welcome to this video where we look at the overperforming metric in NewsWhip Spike. We'll review how the metric works and some potential use cases for it. Overperforming tells you how much more interest each article or post is getting compared to the average for that publisher or page. This metric can be used to find stories that are performing significantly better than we'd expect from our measurement of that publisher. In short, it's a metric perfect for finding stories that are punching above their weight. Okay, let's jump into the product to take a look. I'll build a simple search to start, but we might change them as we go. I'll start with COVID. I know. Now, you will need to manually change to overperforming to see this metric. It can be sorted by Facebook or Twitter or both. Every publisher has an average level of interaction they get for their articles. Every social media page has an average number of interactions they get for their posts. Overperforming articles and posts are the ones that are higher than average for that publisher. We can see ITV, which is a main television channel in the UK, has a story performing 2 times better than usual. In this instance, perhaps they were the first to break a story on this government data about rising cases. I imagine this will be a topic that begins to rise going into the winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. Now the metric here is represented as a multiplier, so an article with 2,000 total interactions from a publisher who gets an average of 1,000 interactions per article would have an overperforming score of 2. Let's see if I expand the search to the previous month to see if we get something a bit bigger. And here we go, some very big overperforming numbers from this site. We can see the interactions aren't that big, but the score is. This is because the overperforming score is relative to the size of the publisher and their average performance over the last 30 days. Perhaps this is a personal blog that either doesn't post frequently or scores low engagement. More importantly, have they broken a large story? Or is there a degree of potential misinformation being spread here onto Facebook? It's not for me to judge at this moment. Now, the overperforming metric is a great way to discover content that could be part of a bigger breaking story. I'll try a new search for cost of living. I'm using this as the cost of living crisis is a phrase quite popular in the British and Irish media to summarise rising inflation and energy prices. It's also quite a varied phrase, and so we'll cast a wide net on examples of people struggling. Perhaps I will be able to find sources for a larger editorial piece I'm writing. Here we can see one story about a taxi driver providing free rides. We have some confirmation there is engagement with this story. Perhaps this can be added as a feel-good addition at the end of a bleaker piece. Anyway, that's just an example. Another great way to use the overperforming metric is if you're searching via a source. For example, you can search for a media outlet or newspaper or Twitter account and track how well or not the posts are doing. You can do this with multiple searches on one dashboard to compare with your competitors. So here I have The Guardian and the Daily Mail, and I'm able to compare the two to see how they're performing in this time period. So here we can see a live feed of overperforming articles across a few publishers. Okay, I now have a best practice suggestion. Bookmark overperforming posts that caught your attention. This is just a small hint, as you may find yourself digging into smaller publishers or sites, therefore forgetting the story. It will also be easier to track and reference over time. Thanks for watching.